fellow viewers and subscribers. This is Superchocolatemilkshake, and I am here with another video. Okay, so basically this is actually going to be a brief review of The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Now, of course, I also will be adding a little bit extra on the end for Looney Tunes in general, but honestly, I kind of want to cover the movie first because it is good. Quite literally, when it comes down to the history of Looney Tunes movies, they kind of have a bit of a rocky history when it comes down to it, because some of the earliest Looney Tunes movies are nothing more than just repackaged episodes of the Looney Tunes series, which is fine. I mean, the movies are good, but that's only because of the stuff that worked beforehand. But when it comes down to, like, any of the actual theatrical debuts of some of the Looney Tunes, well, we got Space Jam, which is a bad movie. Fun, but bad. Like, the writers knew it was going to be a bad movie, so they decided to put all their heart into it and try to make about as fun as a movie as they possibly could. So, you know, it is fun to watch, but it's bad. Then, of course, we have Looney Tunes Back in Action, which is a movie that I have not seen. But I have heard some good things about it, and honestly, hearing from what happened behind the scenes, the movie was a complete and total train wreck. There is a video that is called Dante's Inferno, a Looney Tunes Back in Action, I think it was called, or something like that. You should go watch it, seriously. It is a rather enlightening video, and honestly, kind of makes you surprised that movies even get done at all. Well, that and a whole bunch of other enlightening videos, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. The real truth is that basically, no matter which way you look at it, it was amazing that the movie was even finished and even got it out in theaters. Then we had nothing but silence for a while. Sure, there probably was a few direct-to-video movies here and there, but honestly, nothing too grander in the scheme of things, until we got to Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. This movie sucked. Like, honestly, if I had to give you my straight-up opinions on New Legacy, it's a bad movie. Straight up, 100%. Because, I mean, while Looney Tunes Space Jam, the original, isn't a bad movie, it's fun to watch at least. I mean, it's bad, but it's fun. New Legacy is just pointless. There's nothing to the movie. It is a nothing burger of the movie. I mean, even the way they artificially raise the stakes just feels absolutely... I mean, it just makes you feel absolutely nothing. It is nothing more than just a sweatshop piece of work that basically advertises how many IPs we have on Warner Brothers and HBO Max. And that's it. Like, that's why the movie just kind of sucks for me. And honestly, I don't recommend seeing it. But I will digress. This is kind of where I think Looney Tunes may have started jumping off of a cliff here because, well, in the terms of Wile E. Coyote, because, you know, Acme versus Coyote, everybody pretty much knows about that movie and the debacle that's been going on. Though I do hear some good things about it, but I'll get into that later. And then we have Bye Bye Bunny, which was supposed to be a musical Looney Tunes movie about Bugs Bunny retiring after so many years of service, which, you know, I think would have been interesting to see. But then, of course, we have this movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up. I'm not gonna lie, I like this movie. Like, honestly, out of all the Looney Tunes movies I've seen so far, this is the best one yet. And I know that says a lot when, basically, it is the best one out of movies that are pretty much bad, but, you know, and I haven't seen Looney Tunes Back in Action yet, so I can't really necessarily comment about that movie, but, I mean, if that was, I'd probably put it second place, maybe, we'll see. But when it comes down to it, this is the best Looney Tunes movie I've ever seen, and it far surpasses those movies that I've seen talked about prior. Like, honestly, this is a movie that has a lot of heart, dedication, passion, and soul put into it, and it's genuinely good. Like, it is an actual Looney Tunes movie from start to finish. Like, it literally pulls no punches. It literally pulls from tropes from other movies, like Looney Tunes used to do. It also made fun of different art styles, like Looney Tunes sometimes did. It also made fun of, like, modern-day trends, which is also something that Looney Tunes did back in the day. The reason why the Looney Tunes are still so considered classic, timeless pieces of art. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm also kind of happy that they decided to go back to their roots by taking Daffy back to his more loonier self, and also the interaction between Daffy and Porky Pig. Now, first of all, I will have to say, Daffy and Porky Pig are two of the longest-running Looney Tunes characters. Okay, Porky Pig is longer than Daffy Duck, but still. I mean, he's only longer by maybe a hair. Because, you know, he was invented first and then Daffy Duck came later. But, tell you the truth, Daffy Duck and Porky Pig are kind of like perfect follies for each other. Well, next to Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, but, you know, it only gets interesting when you have Elmer Fudd in the picture. If you remove him completely and totally, then it's like, these are kind of like two roommates just bickering around with each other, which is, I think, what led into the Looney Tunes show having Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny being roommates. But that's neither here nor there. The real truth is that basically, when it comes down to it, Daffy and Porky were perfect for each other. And honestly, it shows in this movie too. They decided to ditch the idea of a friendship and decided to make them adopted brothers. And you know what? It works out really well in this movie. Like, their brothership shows. They have to deal with each other the way that brothers do and siblings do. They have their own irritations. Sometimes it comes down to a boiling point. But deep down, you know they still care for each other. You know that they still have heart for each other. And when the time comes, they both have to rely on each other. And you know what? It worked out really, really well. Now, I'm not going to tell you how, because it's going to spoil the movie. But it does work. Not to mention, also, there was another relationship in this movie in between Petunia Pig and Porky Pig. And I'm not going to lie. I thought this relationship was genuinely sweet. Like, okay, this is a scene that's already been spoiled because it's been actually put on the internet, but basically it's when Petunia is walking into the diner. Yeah, I've actually had those moments where I've had that starstruck look where I thought a woman looked far more beautiful than she actually looked. But you know, it says something when a guy sees a woman and thinks she looks far more beautiful than she actually looks. Though, granted, I think that's more of an insult than anything, so I'm sorry, ladies. If you ever meet me in real life, you have personal permission to slap me, okay? Slap me silly. Box my ears in. Because I'll take it. I'll seriously take it, okay? Look, I mean, if I'm forgetting something at work, I'll just usually say, hey, look, I'll stand still. You can throw stuff at me, okay? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The real truth is that basically the relationship between Porky Pig and Petunia Pig was actually rather sweet. And they both shared those moments where it's like, you know, I could see them being a couple, and I could see them working out really well. And, you know, they do work out really well later on inside the film. Again, not trying to spoil too much here, but the way they handled it was just absolutely perfect. And they pulled from zombie apocalypse films, they pulled from alien invasion films. Oh, yes, and also I gotta say that Marvin the Martian also has a new contender, too. Yeah, he's got a new rival, and honestly, this one, oof. He really does get close to actually beating out Marvin the Martian in my eyes, early. He really does. But I'm not spoiling him. Not at all. Like, you guys gotta go watch the movie to find out a little bit more. But anyway, neither here nor there. Like, it was a really fantastic movie from start to finish. And honestly, I recommend watching this movie. Even if you're not an avid Looney Tunes fan, I would still recommend you go out and see this movie because, well, if you're a fan of classic 2D animation, this is the first animated film that's been in 2D since 2011, I think? Winnie the Pooh? I'm not quite sure. I forget. But still, the first hand-drawn Western 2D animated film to come out of Western civilization in a while. And honestly, like, Warner Brothers put no time and effort, promoting this. And again, I'll get into it a little bit here, but, you know, like, this is a movie that probably could save 2D animation, because, you know, this movie has definitely proven that even if 2D animation may have faded out of most recent memory, it still has a lot of punch. It still has a lot more to go before it goes out entirely. Like, honestly, there's still a lot that you can do with 2D animation that 3D animation just kind of has a limit to. And you know what? I think that's kind of where the beauty and the charm comes in. And it really shows throughout this movie, too, with all the wacky facial expressions, all the fluid animation that the characters have. I mean, it is just beautifully well done. It's kind of hard to find this kind of craft now these days. Which, you know, is kind of sad to say. But that's also what I'm also going to say is pretty sad as well, because I also know that shortly after the day the Earth blew up, Warner Brothers decided to go through and remove any mention of Looney Tunes off of HBO Max. Like, every single Looney Tunes short ever made, or at least that's from what I've heard. And honestly, I think that's absolutely sad. Like, it's disgusting that Zaslav treats Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, I mean, legacy characters like that. Characters that I grew up with. And yes, even the controversial characters that I actually do also like too. Like Pepe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzales. Like, those characters were like fantastic and I grew up with them. And here's Zaslav just treating them like absolute garbage. Like, my favorite character, Daffy Duck. Like, he deserves better. He really does. Seriously. Like, honestly, I'm actually happy that he managed to get into one of the major theatrical releases. Coyote? He deserves to sue the living daylights out of Acme. Seriously. Though, granted, I have heard rumors that Ketchup Entertainment is also going to buy that movie up and distribute it as well. Which, you know what? Good for them. Because you know what? If Ketchup Entertainment's going to be the savior of Looney Tunes, then they might as well just own the entire Looney Tunes IP. But this also brings up something else that's also sad, too. About Warner Brothers' legacy. Because this doesn't look good for them if somebody else is going to have to take over Looney Tunes and do stuff for them. Because, like I said, when it comes down to it, the Looney Tunes has always been associated with Warner Brothers, no matter what. Because, you know, when you think Bugs Bunny, what do you think? Oh, yeah, you think of that tall, gray hair that leans on the Warner Brothers logo and takes a bite out of his carrot. Because, you know, the majority of us pretty much grew up with that. And then some of the adults also saw that when they were growing up, when they were raising their kids. Because that's kind of what happened in the 90s. And, you know, a lot of people who've watched a lot of 90s animated Warner Brothers movies or family films saw that. And it's the very first thing that a lot of people think of when they see Warner Brothers, when they hear Warner Brothers, is Bugs Bunny. Because he's one of the most iconic characters in animation. And here's Zaslav going through and trying to give him the axe. Despite the fact that he's one of the many, many faces of Warner Brothers. Actually, probably the most prominent face. Along with Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Sylvester the Cat, Tweety Bird, Pepe Le Pew, Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam. Oh, what other characters? Granny. Oh, shoot. Oh, wait. Hussein. Whatever the guy was. Marvin the Martian. Oh my gosh, there are so many characters. Like, okay, when it comes down to Looney Tunes, there are so many characters that everybody has to have at least one favorite character from them. At least one. And you know, that says a lot. I mean, again, oh yeah, Ralph Wolf and Sam Sheepdog. Let's not forget about those characters too. They're very obscure, but they are good. Like, I don't know why on earth Zaslav wants to bury this and try to put all this behind him and to just bury it all completely. Destroy every piece of evidence of it. Like, I don't get it. It enrages me. It makes me frustrated. I mean, tell you the truth, Warner Brothers has hit a new low. I'm willing to forgive Disney for all their live-action remakes. And you know, that ain't easily forgiven because they remade Aladdin, which is a movie, in my mind, didn't need to be remade. You cannot, and I repeat, will not, replace Robin Williams as the genie. I don't care what you say about Will Smith. Robin Williams will always and forever will be my genie. And no, you can't replace him with me either, because you know what? Even if I have some of Robin Williams, I've been told that I've looked like Robin Williams before, okay? And by people online and people I've met in real life, they've told me that I've looked like Robin Williams. And I'm like, I don't see the resemblance, but okay. Though, granted, there are some things that I have picked up about him, like some sporadic attitude and such. But, you know, like, I love the guy. I mean, seriously. He's, like, one of my favorite comedians growing up. He was one of my favorite actors growing up. I mean, hell, Aladdin, I watched that movie millions of times because of the genie. Though granted, now that I've gotten old, I watch Aladdin for Aladdin, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. I still love the genie overall, because he was a great character. And Robin Williams really brought him to life. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That is a Disney thing. I need to talk about Warner Brothers. But again, like I said, I am willing to forgive Disney about most of their live-action remakes. Because, again, this is disgusting. At least Disney isn't trying to bury the hatchet with most of their previous works. I mean, at least they're not trying to go like, okay, yeah, at least the old stuff didn't exist. No, they acknowledge the stuff exists. I mean, heck, I've even seen re-releases of their original animated movies alongside with their live-action versions. I'm absolutely amazed by this because at least they're willing to remember it, but I'm also disgusted because I have to buy the live-action version with the remake version with the original animated version, which is like, I'm sorry guys, that's a hard sell. That is a very hard sell. But anyway, neither here nor there. Again, like, this is just upsetting. And the fact that he was willing to do this with Acme versus Coyote, and I don't know about Bye Bye Bunny. Honestly, as far as I know, it could be gone. Forever. We may never get to see it. Because what we know is that it's about Bugs Bunny being retired. And that's all we know. It's upsetting to think that this is happening. And that Zaslav is willing to allow this to happen. That most of the iconic tunes that most of these people grew up with are just going to be gone. Forever. And you know, I mean, I guess that's a moment of like, and that's all she wrote. And I don't really want it to be. But you know what? This is where I'm going to have to go back and saying no. This is why I recommend going to see The Day the Earth Blew Up. Because it's a good movie. From start to finish. You'll enjoy yourself. Even if you don't like Looney Tunes, you may find something of enjoyability in this movie. Because it's fun. It is ridiculous, it is bonkers, and you know what? Even the content that I could probably consider filler was just absolutely fun to watch. Because it was brilliant. It was thought through. It was well paced. I enjoyed every second of it, and I know that you probably would too. Well, if you are going to go see it, if you have seen it, well, let me know down in the comments down below, okay? Are you willing to see it again? What was your thoughts and opinions on it? Just let me know in the comments down below. You know what my thoughts are, so... But anyway, I guess that's all I gotta say. So, if you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button. And also, if you're new here and you want to see more of my content, don't forget to subscribe. And I also have to say that, while this video may be the only video where I may be making a push for this, I do have a game jam going on right now. And if you were a game developer or somebody who is interested in getting into game development, I recommend game jams as a perfect starting point. So, of course, all you got to do is just click on the link down below, sign into itch, and get yourself submitted into this game jam. It will run for about a week, and of course, the theme will be revealed at the very start of the jam. Of course, when it comes down to it, all entries will be displayed on this channel. So, of course, if you're feeling confident with yourself and you want to put yourself out there, this is probably one of the best ways to do it. So, of course, without any further ado, this is Superchocolatemilkshake, signing off.